let's talk about a leadership approach that is widely encouraged, often used, but not as often examined. I'm referring to the open door policy, one of our favorite ones as leaders itself. And most leaders, they adopt this with the best intentions. Like they want their team to feel comfortable coming to them. They want to be accessible. They want to stay connected. They want to be supportive. And those intentions, they are valid. But what many leaders don't realize is this. Without structure itself, an open door policy, it simply just creates dependency. And that's one thing that they have to really sit and recognize. Instead of empowering your team, when you create dependency, it's a condition and you're conditioning them to just solely depend on you. And over time, that shows up in a few key ways. It looks like things like you become the central point of decision making. You constantly are interrupted throughout the day. Everyone is coming to you. Your team escalates, issues that they could solve independently, but they're still coming to you for it. And leadership, it starts to then, begin to feel more of reactive instead of strategic, and it can become a burden. So what is really happening here? The issue itself, it isn't access. It's just simply unstructured access. But what I want to talk to you about is how do we shift, this in a way that still supports your team, but also strengthens them, also empowers them itself, builds them. And when you think about strengthening and building your team, I want to equip you with some practical tools that you can implement right away. The very first is create structured accessibility. What do I mean by that? Being available, it doesn't mean, constantly being interruptible. Establish office hours, regular check-ins, and clear communication channels with your staff. This protects your time while also still supporting your team itself. Also, develop decision-making confidence amongst your staff. When employees bring problems to you, many leaders, we love to default and just solve it for them and just provide the answers. But that's not empowering them to make the decision themselves, is it? So growth itself, it happens when you switch from, just explaining to simply coaching them. So instead of answering and providing the solution right away, ask your employees questions like, hey, what do you recommend? Or, what options have you considered? This itself builds critical thinking as well as ownership with them. And then define escalation boundaries. That is a major one. Your team itself needs clarity on things like, what can they handle independently? When to escalate things, when to involve you, what requires actual leadership input and what does not. Without this, guess what? Everything just gets escalated and you become the bottleneck. And lastly, build leadership at every level. Guys, if your team is constantly coming to you for every little thing, they are not growing. Strong organizations, they don't centralize leadership, they actually distribute it, okay? And a key thing I want you just to keep in mind here, an open door policy without structure, it doesn't create empowerment, it creates dependency. And this is a whole concept that I love working with leaders on when it comes to building out strong communication structures and leadership systems that allows their teams to operate with clarity, with confidence, empowerment, but also accountability. Because leadership, and this is where we sometimes get it wrong, guys, it isn't about constantly being available. Leadership itself is about building a team that doesn't always need you. And if this resonated with you, continue following this series where I'm just going to continue to break down, some areas where leaders are getting it wrong right now, but also how to, of course, fix it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I want to leave you with this. Let's continue to build with purpose and intentionality so we can be effective and see the results we want to see.